시작.
A group of well-trained robbers robbed a bank. The entire robbery process only took 3 minutes. After the robbery, the bank president claimed that they lost 100 billion won, almost equivalent to $80 million. How did the robbers do it? Let's dive into today's Korean movie, Cold Eyes. A peaceful afternoon. It's almost closing time for the bank. Suddenly, an explosion occurs in a parking lot. All nearby police rushes to the scene immediately. But the employees in the bank know nothing about it, still in a relaxed state, waiting to get off work. Then several masked and armed robbers breaks into the bank. A robber pretending to be a customer also quickly puts on a mask. Robbers quickly take control of the scene. They pry open the safe and begin to search for bonds. The safe's alarm system is immediately triggered. Suddenly, the alarm bell screams. But at this time, all the nearby police forces are at the explosion site. More than 3 minutes have passed when the police arrives. The robbers have completed the robbery and fled the scene in a flash. 3 police cars are in pursuit. Unexpectedly, a large truck blocks all the police cars. The robbers escapes. The truck driver also quickly gets out of the car and hide in the crowd. The reason why this robbery goes so smoothly is because a man nicknamed Shadow secretly planned and arranged everything. It was Shadow that caused the explosion and attracted the nearby police. Earned 3 minutes of robbery time for his crew. They grabbed bonds worth 10 billion won, and no members were injured or arrested. But Shadow is not satisfied with the process, because during the robbery, someone wanted to take cash from the bank. Therefore, the robbery took more than 3 minutes, which was not originally planned. Forced them to activate the backup plan. Let the robber who was in charge of the lookout drove a truck and stopped the police. Afterwards, Shadow beats the short-haired boy hard and burned all the crime tools. Then he goes to meet the real boss. This man is Shadow's adoptive father. For years, Shadow has been running errands for him. The bank robbery was actually carried out by the bank president. It turns out that the bank president moved a huge money before. Now, he is about to retire. In order to conceal his mistake, the president hired them to rob his own bank. Although the Shadow crew only robbed 10 billion bonds, but the president lied to the media that he had been robbed of 100 billion bonds. In this way, he can conceal the fact that he transferred the funds before. And the owners of these bonds are corrupt politicians. So these people don't dare to call the police or find trouble with the bank. Things will just end quietly in the end. But the bank president's mandate doesn't end there. He also needs the Shadow team to go to an accounting firm and steal the books he's been falsifying. As long as these ledgers are destroyed, the president can escape unscathed. The Shadow then comes to the rooftop of a building near the office. Then quickly formulates a plan. That night, he first asks one guy to cut off the power supply to the office and several surrounding buildings. Then he asks the others to steal the account book. He is monitoring the situation on the rooftop. Things go extremely smoothly. But just when the Shadow is about to evacuate, he finds a man in the opposite apartment looking at his location with a telescope. Shadow worries that he has been exposed, so he goes straight to his home, piercing his neck with a pen. After finishing the mission, his adoptive father gives him the final task. Insert a Trojan horse virus into the host of a stock exchange. The adoptive father promises to let Shadow retire and return home once everything is done. Just as Shadow is thinking about the plan of the new mission, the surveillance team has been monitoring them. The team is a secret organization within the police department, specialized in tracing and monitoring criminals. Every member of the team is extremely good at hiding and disguising, being able to identify criminals with only a few clues. In previous bank robberies, the only person whose physical features were revealed was the robber driving the truck. This chubby guy is called Kim. He acted cautiously, he kept his head down during the escape, perfectly avoided the surveillance cameras along the way. But he still missed a camera. While buying water at a convenience store, he accidentally exposed himself to the surveillance camera. The surveillance team thus confirms Kim's identity, but this guy has no home, according to their record. The police can only roughly determine a few areas based on his movements. Next, they need a surveillance team to conduct on-site investigation. In addition to viewing a large number of surveillance videos, it is also necessary to check suspects' possible activity locations. This time, as usual, they disguise themselves as passers-by, couriers, taxi drivers to lurk in the crowd. But after 2 full days, there is still no clue. Just when everyone is at a loss, team member Ha realizes that there may be something wrong with their surveillance range. She is a new member, recently recruited. Beautiful face, also has keen intuition and excellent memory. Not only can she memorize and track the target's movements, she can also remember details around her. She draws several areas on the map where Kim often appears, then connects these areas to get a new core area. This core area is most likely where Kim is hiding, that's why Kim is active in the surrounding areas. Everyone immediately comes to the core area to monitor and finally find Kim on the street. But now is not the time to arrest him. They still need to follow the lead and catch other robbers in one blow. Ha pretends to be an ordinary passerby, carefully follows Kim into an old apartment building. Under the remote guidance, Ha deliberately presses the 9th floor, the highest level of the elevator. Kim pressed the 7th floor. Just when Kim walks out of the elevator, Ha deliberately scatters the coins from her pocket on the floor. Then by picking up coins, she confirms that the Kim lives in room 715. After completing the mission, another team member arrives with surveillance equipments. Multiple micro cameras are installed on the floor, all-round monitoring without blind spots. But a few days have passed. Kim hasn't stepped out yet. The only thing they get is a bag of garbage thrown out of Kim's house. Ha finds a pile of suspicious scraps of paper with numbers written on them. After putting it together, they find that the IP address of a stock exchange is hidden in it. Based on this clue, this should be the next target of Shadow's team. The next day, Kim finally takes action. The surveillance team follows him to an abandoned factory, finally sees the other 5 robbers. But no Shadow. He is still hiding in the dark and communicating with his crew through the phone. Through a series of high-tech monitoring equipment, the surveillance team finds out that the next goal is to plant Trojan viruses into the stock exchange. They also intercept Shadow's phone signal, locating him near the stock exchange. Ha and Huang are out to the stock exchange to confirm Shadow's identity. Others immediately contacts the SWAT team, letting the SWAT team deploy near the stock exchange. Then follow the 6 robbers and wait for the next order. Several groups of people rushes to the stock exchange. Shadow, lurking on the rooftop of the building, soon realizes that something is wrong. So he immediately informs his crew that the operation is cancelled. He quickly runs downstairs and blends into the crowd. The robbers receive the order and drive away in a hurry. Then a fierce gun battle breaks out between the two parties. After a scuffle, 6 criminals, 2 died, 4 are arrested. The only target left is Shadow. The surveillance team then dials his phone number directly. Then Ha and Huang locate Shadow in the vast crowd. But Shadow's anti-detection capabilities are very strong. He deliberately runs a red light, trying to spot the following police. If the police follows and runs a red light, he will be exposed immediately. One colleague disguises himself as a traffic policeman to stop Shadow for violating traffic rules. Unexpectedly, Shadow stabs his neck with the pen in his hand while no one is around. Then disappears into the vast crowd. In order to save their colleague, they lost Shadow.
꽃돼지, 그림자를 쫓아가. 놓치면 안 돼. 응답해. 응답하라고!
But their colleague still lost his young life due to excessive blood loss. His death makes the entire surveillance team extremely sad. But the rule is that they cannot give up the tracking mission, even facing death threats. So even though some people died, the entire surveillance team is still held accountable for missing the target. So Ha is fired. Huang also resigns. The Shadow on the other side is also hunted down because of the failure of the mission. He kills all the killers, including his adoptive father. Then he spends a lot of money to get himself a fake passport, preparing to escape South Korea. Just when Ha is about to give up, on a subway ride, she is suddenly bumped into by a guy. It reminds her the day of the bank robbery. She was also hit by someone on the subway. The man who hit her happened to be Shadow himself. With her super memory, she also recalls that he had a promotional ads from a convenience store in his hand. Ha immediately comes to the convenience store and finally finds Shadow. She quickly contacts Huang and other teammates. Everyone gathers again and restarts the tracking mission. Ha follows Shadow all the way to a bar. Shadow is here to get his passport. He soon discovers Ha. So he sits directly on Ha's opposite and asks her if she is following him. Ha can only pretend to be calm and deal with him carefully. Huang enters the bar and dispels Shadow's doubts about Ha. It turns out that Huang was accidentally discovered by Shadow already when he was following him. So Shadow recognizes Huang. But at this moment, in order to protect Ha, Huang can only expose himself. Fortunately, the injury is not serious. He asks Ha to continue tracking Shadow. He will wait here for the rescue team. Ha follows him all the way to an abandoned platform. Without warning, she is hostaged by Shadow. Just when the two sides are in a stalemate, Ha grabs the pen on Shadow, takes the opportunity to stab his thigh, then got rid of his hostage. Shadow has to jump to the other side of the track, trying to escape under the cover of a speeding train. Unexpectedly, Huang is waiting for him at the exit. It turns out that the shrewd Huang has calculated Shadow's escape route in advance. The desperate Shadow can only fight back with his gun, but in the end, he is shot to death by Huang. Finally, Huang returns to his position as the team leader. Ha has also been promoted. Her next surveillance target is Simon from China. The movie ends here. Cold Eyes is a remake of the classic Hong Kong film, Eye in the Sky. The Korean version has a more intense rhythm, converted from a suspense movie into more of an action movie. At the end of the movie, they specially invited the original movie star, Simon Yam, to act as a cameo role. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.